you do compost, how many people here do compost? Oh, I like it. Very good. For those of you who don't do compost, you'll be forgiven at some point. But so you know, there's an enormous amount of waste that we have on the planet, whether that's food scraps or our personal waste, whether it's urine and feces. Those things should all be composted. I understand that urine and feces is a little bit more attached to your grass, and even then, you should probably leave the leaves over the winter at least. Because when you do that, when you leave the leaves on your grass over the winter, you're actually allowing for the organisms underneath the grass, which are going to help you to have healthy soil underneath your grass. You're allowing them some protection. When you scrape those leaves off, it gets colder, much deeper, and it forces them deeper into the soil, or puts them into basically a cold storage for the winter. And that's actually not what we want, even if it's grass. Okay? So make sure you use all the organic material that you can possibly get your hands on to add back into the soil, so that that organic matter will feed all those microorganisms that I was just talking about, because they need that. And when they have that, then they can attach to the plants, and then you'll have healthier, stronger, more beautiful plants. I guarantee it. Fine. You can do the cold way where you just kind of pile it. That works fine too. It just takes a lot longer, right? So the only thing I would say to that is try to layer your leaves and your food wastes and keep it moist. Keep it covered. Don't allow it to dry out. When you allow it to dry out, it doesn't rot. Because all the organisms that are turning that stuff into soil need moisture. Because it's basically going to be bacteria and fungi. Stack them up, water them, cover them. Don't just blow them away. Don't put them in a bag and throw them to the dump. That's a waste. A mushroom is the fruiting body of the mycorrhizum. So the mycorrhizae are like these fine, I'm sorry, I should have included a slide of that. So they're like these, well, they're often white, but not always. And they kind of look like these threads that go either through wood or through the soil, what have you. And that is actually the living part of the fungus. Right? If you ever see, like, maybe you find a rotten piece of wood somewhere, like on the back of the property, whatever, and it has some, maybe you peel the bark away by accident or on purpose, and you see this kind of white thready stuff, that's it. Okay? So you've probably seen that somewhere, just not realized what it was. But that's what it is. And that's going through all the soil, as long as the soil is being protected in some way. When we constantly till, it breaks up all those threads and it destroys that. And when we spray herbicides and pesticides and all these other things, it kills those things. And when we kill those things, then we kill the relationship between those things and the plants. And the plants, which have evolved to depend on those for its nutrition, suddenly have to try to source the nutrition by themselves in the soil. And you will have more pests and more disease and less healthy plants.